Religious belief helped the people of Myanmar withstand 50 years of military dictatorship. The country is famous for the beauty of its many temples, pagodas, and Buddhist monasteries. But a country as poor as Myanmar needs more than faith and timeless beauty. As a student, Situsea watched the junta shut down the universities. They were afraid their power might be challenged by a student uprising. Situ was on his way home. He just finished teaching a class in computing. Situ believes that learning and education are his country's highest priority. He says educated people are harder to oppress and dominate. Situ and his father were just released from jail in January. They were imprisoned for 2 years after a false accusation of terrorism.
I was locked up in a prison cell that was actually a cage. The cage right next to me was full of vicious dogs. They tried to bite me through the bars of the cage.
Situ is an art student. In jail, he made drawings about his experiences. He says he wants everyone to know what happened. Situ and his father aren't worried that they might be arrested again. The future can't wait, they say. Instead of barbed wire and oppression, what Myanmar needs is freedom, progress, and education. Yangon, Myanmar's largest city. Fearing the destruction of their culture, the junta seemed bent on driving the country backwards. Anything that smacked of modernity, democracy, and progress was forbidden. These students are on their way to one of the few good schools in the city. This is where many high-ranking military officers send their children. The generals made sure that their own families had the best of everything. The rest of the education system was a shambles. Even though times are changing, our film crew isn't welcome everywhere. Just 6 months ago, a foreign camera team would not have been able to freely move about here. We would have had to sneak into a monastery like Nitawadi. During the years of uprisings, monasteries were a center of resistance. In Nitawadi, the Buddhist abbot is consecrating some bags of rice. The rice is a donation to support the monastery's project. The project is building a future for Myanmar's young people. The monastery offers the children here a religious and a secular education. 600 children live here. Some are novice monks, others are orphans. The children come from many different ethnic backgrounds, a mirror of Myanmar, which is a multi-ethnic country.
We need to stand together in peace. The country needs unity. The foundation of our political system is still very shaky. But education is a solid foundation that we can build on.
Poor families from the provinces can send their children here to live and be educated free of charge. The regular classroom instruction is done for the day, and the young students return to the monastery. Many of the students have big dreams for the future, and donations are what help keep those dreams alive. Win Maun is from a remote part of the country. He wants to be a doctor one day. The students here are still reticent to speak about their hopes for the future. Not long ago, calling any attention to oneself was dangerous. The two girls are visiting their brother. Their family is poor and there's no school for him near home. Their brother brought a small piece of home with him. We ask him some questions about politics. He replies, "The weather is changing." He too is reluctant to speak too openly.
We didn't take part in the uprising of the monks in 2007. They would have thrown us in jail and the children would have starved.
There is a saying in Myanmar, education is a golden key that no one can take away from you. The brutal military dictatorship made sure the golden key remained out of reach for the common people. Now, Myanmar has a future, a shining, perhaps even golden future for its young people from cities like Yangon to the World Heritage nominated temples of the Bagan Plains.